GIGA, Sigma.
I'd like to show you guys a video from my friend where he goes on about this. Have you heard of the concept of the simulation? Not the technological singularity, perhaps, but basically the idea that we all are in some kind of illusionary reality, basically a holographic projection or simulation reality, like a holographic projection, holographic universe, a holographic reality, a projection, simulation, something that's not quite right, something that's off, something that's created. It wouldn't have to be like they have in the movies, like The Matrix, but in fact, something that is not quite right. And science, as in many fields of science, at least particularly some like physics, you actually see a lot of evidence for the holographic reality, for like a projection reality, like an illusion, like the universe is an illusion. So this is a very interesting concept, and basically this gentleman, you can follow him over at Getter at Jar of Gots. He's laying out for you, for us, what he thinks. There's more than one kind of person in this reality. I believe the method he has is interesting, and what he is talking about seems to be something I like to call the curse not being a normie. So I'll talk about that briefly, and I'll show his clip. So basically, there are some people, I think they are truly few and far in between, who have either some level of honesty, hard work, integrity, perseverance, something about them that is more honest, more true, more good, and reality eats these people up and spits them out like a very nasty piece of wood, maybe a bundle of sticks that you put on the fire, you know, like a really bad sour taste in its mouth. The people who excel, if you haven't figured out already, are the people who kiss the ring, kiss ass, you know, get along, and obviously the people who can exploit many of the loopholes. People who innovate usually have something that they didn't tell you, an advantage, like a bunch of money, investors of some kind. Oh, we weren't, you know, as this guy, I forget, he was a startup investor guy. I mean, like, you know, he made a few companies, and he did not VC. He was not a VC guy. He did not get the VC money. He did it the hard way, by getting a millionaire friend to invest in both of his companies. And that's how he got success. And so there's this elusive element for some people. They can't figure it out why they can't succeed, and others it's come so easy, and the ones who it comes easy to are the ones you can see everywhere on the internet. And some people do grind for 10 years and they make it, but other people grind for 20. You know, some people it's like 15 years and they never make it. 20 years. Try 20, son, and come back to me. And I think this one thing, this one element of reality, which we can only call one thing, is that elusive, that final, that one piece that makes all the difference that no one can quite quantify. It's called luck. And it's basically what we consider to be causality, basically that we cannot understand. The inner workings that we don't quite get, but some people just get it and others don't. And a good example of this, there was a girl who went viral the other day, who basically by just making a simple sound that thousands of people have made before, maybe millions, in reference to oral sex. And whether that was what the Homo Global wanted to promote on their algorithms, or whether it was just a coincidence that a gentleman was there recording her at the time, that is what exploded and made her instantly a celebrity for simply uttering 2 words and being silly. Mind you, millions of people have done this, and none of them are celebrities. And possibly hundreds of thousands have uttered that exact word, and I'm pretty sure it was a type of corn before she ever existed, or at least I'm pretty sure it was a type of corn and a very common phrase referencing a sound that people make when they spit. Yet, you probably even know who I'm talking about, because when someone is famous in one place, that person is famous everywhere. And all it requires is a little bit of luck and or the algorithm to care about you. Now, the luck part is real, but the other part is another real part, which is where the homoglobal algorithms, they love to promote degeneracy, or they love to promote fringe, unnatural, unhealthy interactions and behaviors. And it's a little deeper than that. But I wanted to show you this clip of my friend to get the conversation going. Because I believe that there are about 8 different kinds of beings on this planet. And I would like to start off with the 3 that he references in this video. He references the herd animals, or NPCs as you might call them. Basically, I call them minions. They're not intelligent, they're not human, they're not alive. They simply are filler in the simulation. Then there's the player characters, or intelligent beings, humans perhaps, who are in the simulation but locked down. They are subdued by the simulation. The extinction machine has their balls. The enemy owns them. They are owned minds. They are not free minds. They are basically called slaves, basically slaves. Basically, these are the owned minds, or I believe he calls them, something else, enslaved player characters who are, drones, right. So there's the minions and there's the drones. The minions are basically NPCs. The drones are captured souls who are just working within the machine, and they get the little scraps from the elite's tables. And then you have the third category, which are the awakening, and the free minds, basically. Similar category, but they probably both belong into the same category. The awakening and the free minds are both player characters that are not part of the simulation, or they're not slave, right? So they're not enslaved, they're free, they're not slave. They're basically free minds, right? And so those are the 3 that he discusses in the video. And I'll see you on the other side. Yeah.
How do you know if you're a player character and not just another drone of the simulation? Well, if you go to a gym and there be thoughts, and they're doing the thing, they're doing business and streaming, and there are people perhaps, wearing their own merch, and somebody with a Nike and other brands, but you go there with your own shirt and it's good, and it's not showing too much, it's not in and it's your brand, and they kick you out and cancel your subscription, your membership, right? That's how you know you are a player character. When all of reality opposes your very existence, except for other player characters, you are a player character. Now, drones will say that you have main character syndrome, because they are drones of the simulation, and they do not know what it's like. They do not have experience of what it's like to be a player character, or a free mind. Free minds and drones and minions. Minions are basically just NPCs. Drones are the slaves. They are enslaved. They are the slavery of the simulation. Minions are the NPCs, and there are bots and so on and so forth. But if you are a drone, you are enthralled to the simulation. You work within the system. You are their slave. If you are a minion, you're just an NPC. But only player characters of the free minds can see. And they are opposed by the entire fabric of the simulation. Usually, sometimes there's a few hacks. But if you're a drone, you just do what you're told, you fit in, and it just works for you, the bare minimum you'll have, because that's the trade-off. And that was an analogy. That exact scenario didn't happen to me, but the similar things that have happened to me that is an analogy all across the internet and all over the world have happened to me, and I've observed that there might be a few other people like me who are player characters, free minds, opened, not owned minds, not slaves, not drones, not servants of the simulation. Now feel free to comment. I will not be replying or interacting with the comments of drones or NPCs, except for perhaps to point out how they are just that. Be free, do not be a servant, slave, enslaved. Do not be enslaved. Do not be a slave of the simulation. Be free. Be human.
So, he talked about how there were those three different kinds of beings, right? Two different kinds of player characters who won or subverted their pawns, the drones. They are part of the function of the extinction machine, as I call it, or the simulation. And there are the others who are not. May have been at one time, but then awakened, free mind, right? And the difference, of course, is that one group is in fact successful, but it's a surface level of success. It's basically by giving yourself into the way things work in the world, you can have success. The establishment will grant you the bare minimum, if even that, but you can actually succeed. It's a perceptive lie, though, because the success you have can never rival that of the elites. However, if you have luck, or something else, another category we will not go into just yet, you can have the great success of the elites, or the great success of the celebrities, or the great success of the person you know on the internet who's very successful, maybe somebody who owns a bunch of crypto or something. But back to the group that rejects the simulation, these people, because they do not come at the world with arms wide open and just let the reality show them how to be a proper Slav, these people might be a little more honest, hardworking, dedicated, perseverant, or perseverance, right? Some other attribute that is not valued in the world, like not selling your friends out, or perhaps, something of true note and value, but does not really function, and they have this curse of mortality, but this, or maybe I should say this curse of immortality, because they have a soul that is beyond themselves, like the whole Freudian, the ego, who is the self, right? The the superego and the id. And the id is your animalistic nature, your human nature, your sense to just, get what is yours, to reproduce or to, give into desires and things. And then your superego is your desire to be something greater than yourself, angelic, something to help other people or create some great thing, some arts or some entertainment or something that's beyond yourself that last for a longer period, something that is beyond you, and then just serving you, and then there's you in the middle. And some people, of course, that just serve themselves and just take care of number one, and that is what the extinction machine was. So it is what simulation allows to thrive. Just taking care of number one, just taking care of you, just helping yourself out and making sure you're good to go. And that is what works. That is what's promoted. And if you kiss enough ass, you'll do it right. And then, of course, there's that third category you may have not gone into, I don't remember in the video, called minions. These are just straight up NPCs. I would like to add 5 more categories to this concept of simulation, okay? Or maybe not all 5 today, but there is bots, okay? And we already know bots on the internet. It's pretty easy to understand if they existed in reality. But if not, the bots on the internet are good enough. They're simple programs that disguise themselves as human beings. Not quite minions, because minions you can see in IRL. Bots you may not ever be able to see on IRL, when they might do a specific function and then just disappear. And then we have AI. AI are also not real. They're synthetic, or AI just like bots are, but they're much higher capability. They're much more intelligent and serve specific functions. Perhaps a lot of your famous celebrities are AIs, YouTube personalities or streamers or people that you care about, and you might have a parasocial relationship with them. They might serve a function to keep you numbed and keep you enslaved to the simulation, to the extinction machine. And basically, this continues on until you get to the point where you have nothing. It's 2043, and you own nothing. You're not happy. You live in a pod, you eat some bugs, and you DIE. And that's a great life to live as a Slav, as a slaved being. So yeah, those are the 5 main categories. There are probably 3 more, but I'll probably go into those another time where I don't want to confuse people, get people too overloaded with information. But in many ways, this does function like a simulation, or a reality that is its own set of laws that are not what they should be, and not what makes sense or is immediately apparent. Any way you look at it, I believe that this can be extremely helpful for people. If you have had experiences like he's talked about in the video, give us a comment. Go check him out at Getter, Jarv_Gots, and give me comments all day long. Tell me what you think. He might not reply to drones, but I will probably do my best to help everyone, even those who are still enslaved. Thank you, and see you next time. Be human. Be free. I just wanted to say, if you made it this far, I appreciate you watching, and make sure you check out other of my videos or the membership. Don't forget, if you're watching this on CensorTube, we have a nicer spot over there on Rumble. Go.